party people. Fanu here, doing a little tutorial on how to slice a sample into Ableton drum rack. We're going to start by taking a look at a breakbeat. I'll drag the beat from here onto the channel. Let's listen to the beat real quick. Well, that's a fat break if I ever heard one. What we want to do in order to be able to be the drummer and play the beat as we would like to, we have to slice the break into parts. And to do that, we can first use the metronome, because that will help us to synchronize the beat into the so-called musical timeline. Let's take a quick listen to the metronome. You hear an accented beat, and after that there's 3 beats, and that makes up a bar. Each bar has 4 beats. So that is a bar. And we have to synchronize the audio with the musical timeline and with the beats. So we're going to play the break while we're listening to the metronome. Let's do it. We can hear that the break is actually playing slower than the metronome is running. So we have to try and synchronize the audio with how the metronome is playing. For example, I can see the first snare here. I'm gonna click on it and I will drag it here. Here we have the first beat, the second beat of the bar. Now that falls into place. I can see the second snare here, and I want to drag it onto the 4th beat. Now we have the first bar correctly, and here I can see the kick of the second bar, and I want to place it here. Now let's listen to it again. Now the audio is playing too quickly. Here I can see that the second snare is here, so I'll just place it on the second beat of the second bar. No, that's too fast. So what we can do is, here we have the rest of the second bar, so you just have to try first to move this a little. You can actually loop this section so you don't have to listen to the first bar again every time you want to play it. So let's loop this one here. You can just hit Command L or Control L if you're on PC. So now we got it looped, and let's listen. It's pretty good. Here I can see the second snare that's gonna fall on this 4th beat in the bar. Well, that's it basically. So now we have the whole 2-bar segment pretty good. So you could see that what I did, I placed the markers. You can place markers on the timeline by clicking, double clicking, and you can also undo it if you want to take it away. You can see these small gray things here, and they are called what are they called? They are called the let me look it up. They're called the transients. That's what Ableton tries to place into the right place. And Ableton Live is pretty good at placing the transients on the right places. You can see every time the audio goes up here, it gets the transients okay, and it looks pretty good here. And what I want to do myself is I want to chop every part of the break that the drummer has played. So I can tell that each drum hit has a transient on it, which is enough. You don't really have to place markers on every place. What markers are good for, you can kind of slice the audio by shift clicking and dragging the audio to whichever way you want it to move a little. But anyways, now everything seems to everything seems to play pretty good. So the audio is pretty useful now because everything has been synchronized with the timeline. So if you play the break and you even change the project tempo, it'll follow. That's what Ableton Live is really good for. But what we want to do is, because now you can only play the drum loop and you cannot really change it, so you cannot really become the drummer and alter the order of the drum hits. So we want to chop this up. So now that we have synchronized the audio with the timeline, we get the markers, we have the transients here, we can just right click here and it says slice to new MIDI track. What I want to do, personally, what I like to do is chop up the break using samplers on a drum rack. So you go here and you choose sampler. Here you can select to slice the break by transients. So keep this at transient if you feel like it. Hit OK and you get a MIDI track with a MIDI clip here. Let's play it. You get the drum hit here, and even if you speed it up, it'll work. And what you have, let's turn it down a bit. What you have here is some controls that you can use to change the sound. Here you have a filter. These are here because they have been pre-programmed to be here when you do slicing by the sampler mode that I just showed you. And we're going to take a look at that and how to change the values here, or how to map the things that you want to have here. We're going to take a look at that in the next video. So hold on tight, and thanks for watching this one.